Austin breweries earned some big honors at the World Beer Cup last week in Denver, Colorado. Kamala Brewing at the Whip Inn, Jester King Brewery, Austin Beer Works, and Circle Brewing Company all taking home a silver or bronze in different categories. 4 other Texas breweries also won in Denver. And get this, the event had the highest number of entries to date, more than 4,700 beers from over 1,400 breweries representing nearly 60 countries. The demand for so-called craft beer in Austin has become so popular, the trend is now spreading south to Hays County. As KXAN's Ignacio Garcia shows us, one microbrewery intended to fill pints for a few friends is now planning to fill barrels instead.
We can't make enough beer.
Brewmaster Dennis Middleton never knew retirement would keep him so busy.
I came here to retire and make a little beer and enjoy myself, and turns out I've got to make beer all the time.
Dennis is the brewmaster at Middleton Brewery. His little pub has become so successful they're moving to this larger facility next month. It'll produce 20 times the volume they brew today.
People fall in love with a certain style of beer and they'll come here and they run us dry. And so the objective was to get somewhere we can brew enough where Dennis and Calvin aren't having to brew every single day to keep the taps filled.
It's tasty beer.
The thirst for microbreweries has grown the last few years. The number of licensed brewers jumped from 35 to 78 between 2007 and 2011, according to the Texas Craft Brewing Guild. Hays County is one of the state's hotspots, partly because operating costs are lower.
Between here and San Antonio, that is going to be a really another area of big growth because there's good commuter traffic, good visitor traffic between the two.
And that's great news for Dennis, sort of.
And now apparently they want me to make a lot more beer, so that's what I'm going to do.
Meaning Dennis's retirement will just have to wait. In Wimberley, Ignacio Garcia, KXAN News.
In addition to Middleton Brewery's expansion, Bomber Brewery plans to open its doors in Kyle this July. And a third brewery, Aqua Brew, plans to open in downtown San Marcos no later than early next year. The story is part of KXAN's partnership with Community Impact News, and you can read more about this in Thursday's San Marcos, Buda, and Kyle Hayes edition of the paper. Across Texas, we're seeing a boom of new craft breweries. That's thanks in part to new laws making it easier for breweries to make money. Before, someone making beer would be classified as a brew pub. They could only sell on site, or they were a brewery and could only distribute their alcohol to retail stores. Several new laws passed last summer loosened those rules, letting brew pubs make more beer, plus sell to stores and on site. One estimate suggesting the new law could push the industry to generate $5.6 billion and create 52,000 jobs by the year 2020. Still, breweries in Austin face one big hurdle: city zoning. Right now, some businesses cannot sell alcohol on site because they are zoned as light industrial. City Council has to change those rules. Council members have had the issue on their agenda for several months, but have not taken any action.